right out the gate. I'm trying to be consistent with these here videos. So hello everyone and welcome to Candidly Cantrice. Way out the door, I have braces on. I'm on my way out the door, so if you hear this, I just don't bother you. If you do, this might not be the video you want to watch because, you know, I'm very animated when I speak, so there's that. I am on my way out the door to meet a few ladies to have dinner. Much needed time out. It is a Saturday. It's May 1st when I'm recording this. It's nice here in Pittsburgh. The sun is shining, so I'm excited to get out and see my girls. As I was preparing for this video, because it seems like I'm on a parenting kick, but as I was preparing for the video, I was thinking, like, is it more important to go out with your girls, or if there's guys watching, your fellas, single as it is when you're married, or when you're married? For my married folk, do you feel like it's more important to spend the majority of your time? I guess I don't want to ask it like that, but is it as important to still kick it with your peoples being married as it was when you were single? So let me know in the comments down below about that. Y'all know I always want y'all to let me know something in the comments. Anyway, so like I said, I guess I'm on a parenting kick because this video is basically about being a young grandmother. Now, I'm not a grandmother yet, but my daughter will be 20 this year, and even in the next 3 years, if anything, you know, if she met somebody, they got married or not, and, you know, she had a child, I would be a grandmother before 40. So I'm like, can you wait? Can you try to, like, give me some leeway? Wait till I'm in my, like, mid-40s. But that's not fair to her because it's not her fault I was being grown and I, you know, was having unprotected sex and became a parent at 17. So us being so close in age makes it kind of like, you know, a possibility for me to be a young grandmother. And it made me think about my mom. Shout out to my mom. I love her very, very much. We are very, very close. In her having to be a young grandmother. And so just as me and my daughter are 17 years apart, I am 17 years apart from my mother. And so when I became pregnant, and I wanted to touch on, like, being a teen that's pregnant in high school. There's a lot of things that I dealt with my classmates that weren't super harsh, but it definitely had an impact on me because, you know, I was viewed as a goody two-shoe or whatnot. And so when I became pregnant, it was like, oh, see, the good girls, the quiet ones be the ones, and all of that stuff. And so, you know, my classmates looked at me different. My friends, like, sis, of course, we wasn't saying sis back in the early 2000s, but, like, you're having a baby. So that put me in a whole different caliber than what my friends were. So when they going out running around and doing stuff, I had a baby. But I'm pretty sure my teachers looked at me differently. And the people that it impacted the most was my brother, who was only 10 at the time, and my cousins, because we are very close and we're more like sisters. So, you know, I had my family calling, trying to encourage me to not have the baby, because they understood the challenges that came with not only being a parent, but being a young parent. And at the time, I couldn't appreciate, because that's how it is when you're a kid. You can't appreciate the stuff that people are telling you at that time as much as you can later on. And so, you know, I had someone who was like, we're going to ride this out together. I got your back. He definitely did. But his life didn't change. My kid's father, his life didn't change in a way that my life changed. Like, everything was shifted once I had a baby. And so being pregnant, and people who originally looked up to me kind of look sideways at me now. Like, Dag, you got pregnant, you're having a baby. So it definitely added some, I don't want to say tension, but it definitely shifted my relationships with, you know, my family and how they viewed me. You know, so I could only imagine how my mom was feeling, because it's like, you have this almost straight A student. I strive so hard to get straight A's. Like, I never made it to 4.0. I made it to like 3.8. Never made it to the 4.0 mark, but you have this super, I ain't gonna say super smart daughter. She don't get into a lot of stuff. She's not like into running the streets. She don't drink. She don't smoke. She go to school. She's responsible. She watches after her little brother while you're at work. Huh, she's pregnant. You thought you was this great mom and your daughter's pregnant. You know, so I can only imagine the things that she was feeling or how she was looking at herself now that her daughter was pregnant. And just that feeling of disappointment. And because when I think about, like, one of my kids, you know, when I was that age, so she would have been 34. I was like, I'm not even in a space. How can I explain? Like, with parenting, I still feel like I'm juggling pieces. So to add a grandparent title to that mix, I could only imagine how my mom felt. Mom, I love you so much. I appreciate you so much. I'm sorry for anything that you had to go through at that time, of dealing with, you know, your child being pregnant and with all the stuff that came with that, because you still taking care of us. Now there's an extra mouth to feed. And even though I worked and stuff, she still was the primary of making sure the house was what it needed to be. So I salute you, and I definitely appreciate all that you've done for us, and the tools and the gems and the wisdom that you've given me from the beginning, even though I probably wasn't applying them so much later because I was young. Whole story. But yeah, I just wanted to hop on here and speak on that, because I never really paid it much attention as I was going through my years of parenting until I reached my 30s, and then got closer to the age where she became a grandparent. And I was just thinking of all the things that she could have been feeling or going through, and having to try to support me in all the things I was going through, even though she was probably upset that we were in that situation. She still had to be support for me and, you know, like, comfort me and let me confide in her, even though I put us in that predicament. So that's definitely a hard space to be in, but she did it. She rocked it out. So I love you, Mom. I definitely do. And this is because my dad, he's a whole separate video. But I just really wanted to touch being a grandparent as a mom with your daughter. So if there are any young grandmas, grandmas, mamas, or, you know, there's a plethora of names that, you know, young ladies who become grandmothers want their grandchildren to call her. And so my mom is Mama, basically like second mom. And so that's why I'm like, y'all have to wait, because I want my kids to call me grandma, not grandmother, but like legit grandma. Grandma, can I come over to your house? Not Grammy, not none of those other things. I want to be called grandma. I'm like, so can y'all give me a little minute? Feel me? Anyway, so I wanted to hop on here real quick and do that. Grandmas, glammas, gammies, all of y'all, leave me comments down in the comments below and let me know how you felt when you became a grandma, if you and your daughter or even your son were young, and how that made you feel and how you got through it, how you coped with it, and all of those things. I'm pretty sure I'm missing talking about something. I do it every video, but I need to get out of here. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so that you are alerted when I drop a new video. Because like I said, the kids trying to be out here dropping consistent videos because it's really something that I want to do. So I hope that in sharing these things, that as y'all come together and comment the different things, that we're able to help and encourage each other, because that really is the goal of this channel. So I will talk to y'all next time.